Hello Scorpio and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your fortnightly reading for August the 16th through to the 31st. So moving from the fire of Leo into the earth of Virgo. And I got this very lovely energy of your ships coming in, or one ship in particular. It was a sense I had this image of you standing on a lookout, looking out and seeing the ocean below. And it was like just looking out. That was this foresight looking out at the horizon. And then it was like you saw it. It was this one ship that was coming back, and it was this sense of a smile because it was like, it's finally happening, or it's finally coming back, or I'm finally seeing the positive result I'm looking for. So this little smile of something unexpected that you've been waiting for. I know you've been waiting for it, but you kind of didn't know when it was going to return to you, this ship, and it feels good. So there's something very beautiful, some sort of really nice result or something really good coming to you at this moment in time. So we have awakening, renewal and enlightenment as the main energies. We have the world, fulfillment and celebration, and the Six of Feathers, transition and insight. Wow. Look at this beautiful energy. It really is saying that this awakening energy that you've been going through on this higher realm in relationship to that activated portal that opened, that activation point that happened at the beginning of August, which was in the north node of Taurus, but also the south node of Scorpio, your energy. There's something that is completing. You've been in a transition phase around the awakening, and now there's this fulfillment that's coming in around. And I feel like it's all happening on around the celebration of the cycle, the end of the cycle. So you're getting the celebration, the gifts that's coming. There's something coming to you from a distance. So may not necessarily arrive in this fortnight, but it's like you can see it coming. So that's going to make you happy. So this is the celebration, and I do feel like this is very much an energy of what's happening on a very higher energetic realm when it comes to this awakening, this beautiful awakening that has occurred for you. So finally there's an ending of a cycle here that's been a very, very intense cycle. And I feel like what they're showing me now is it started around May when the eclipses were in your sign. Mid-May there was that amazing full moon in your sign. And so it's something that started back then, but it's only just completing now energetically. So we have what's shifting and changing, Wand 10, Sun Sagittarius, and Cup Princess, Water Palace. I like this. So the Wand 10, Sun Sagittarius is, I feel like this is letting go of putting effort into something that's been disappointing is kind of what I'm getting with this. The Cup Princess reverse feels like some kind of disappointment, like emotions have been going out. It was something that just has been either troubling you or worrying you or bothering you in some way. And the 110 is kind of like it's time to let go of that, the burdens of that, time to let go of that energy, which is really nice. So that feels really good. I think that feels really good. So let's look at the situation and what's coming in here. So with the Sun Sagittarius energy as well, it kind of feels like there's been confusion around where things have been going, particularly with some sort of, new emotional terrain. Perhaps you've felt a little bit unsure about something, or a little bit uncertain about someone, a little bit apprehensive. And that apprehension is what's potentially, we've seen there's a cup on offer here, and this character's going, I don't know about it, but there is something new here that's coming in with the Emperor energy as well. There's this 10 of Wands again, releasing of some burdens, which is really, really going to free up some energy. There's a lightening that's coming in as well as the enlightenment. It's a lightening. So the 7 of Wands, we also have the Judgment energy. My goodness, okay. Awakening is the Judgment energy, number 20. So you've got double judgment, double awakening coming in. The Wheel of Fortune, this is you. The Magician, the Hermit, and we've got the 7 of Swords. Okay, finally you can start enacting some kind of plan. There's something you've been planning or wanting to do for a while that you potentially needed to kind of do in the background. But I feel like, yes, it's decision times now to be able to move forward with something where it felt stagnant before. There's been a huge clearing out process with this judgment energy, clearing out of a whole heap of old past karma, past emotions, past stagnations and stagnant energies. So it just, there's been this huge energetic shift happening here for you, Scorpio. So as a situation, you got the Four of Cups. This is where you might be looking at certain things in your life and just feeling a bit blur, a bit meh, a bit like I'm not really sure about what's on offer here emotionally. It doesn't necessarily feel great. Maybe I'm getting a bit bored or restless or disillusioned with something. Maybe I'm ultimately looking for something that's going to fulfill me or feel a little bit better. It is crossed by the Ace of Wands, which is where it does feel like it's still hard to step into something new though. So even though something's not feeling great, it's like maybe you're not ready to start something new, or maybe you can't even see it. Maybe that opportunity is not in front of you at this moment in time. But the Emperor energy is in your conscious mind. So this is Aries energy. This is a boss energy. You might be thinking about someone powerful in your life, somebody that has a power and authority around you. It might even be dealing with authorities in general, but it could be around your own sense of taking charge of a situation and being, making something a concrete reality, or being your own boss. Energy with the Emperor is really about bossing up and going, right, taking charge. So it's almost like, some of you may have issues with somebody who is trying to exert some sort of control and power over you, or issues with your boss at this moment in time. But if you are the boss as well, maybe you're just kind of feeling a little bit like you're just wanting a little bit more. But yeah, definitely either way, no matter when the Emperor comes in, it's time for you to boss up and take charge of a situation which isn't feeling great. At the base, we've got the Ten of Wands. So this is, where you have you've got this twice. So it's kind of interesting. You've got the Ten of Wands twice and the Judgment card twice, which is interesting because these are very dominant energies. And the Ten of Wands is where you're at the tail end of something. You've been carrying a heavy burden. There's a heavy load here. And this is where there's been a heaviness around something and it just hasn't been feeling good. I just do feel like it's these energies, these denser energies that we've been moving and working through. But it can also be, maybe you've been working really hard. Maybe you've taken on too much. Maybe you've taken on too much responsibility, or responsibility for somebody else and how somebody else is feeling. So I think it's time for this other person to, there's a shift in a power balance, a power relationship that comes in here as well. It's time for you to release something. The Ten of Wands can be burnout of some sort. So it's like, so this has been potentially been draining your energy from like the kind of from this root energy deep down. So it can feel like a real soul drain as well, which is not great. We have in the recent past, so the Seven of Wands, which is that you have been getting yourself in a better position with this, which is great. You've been slowly leveraging yourself up, and it may be that you needed to have some space. You needed to kind of defend yourself a little bit in terms of just where you're at. It's a little bit of, I kind of get this sense of I got some things going on. I just need to work it out. I need to kind of get myself where I need to get myself, or I need to kind of work out how I'm feeling about something. So I just need my space around. That can be coming through as well. In the near future, we've got the Judgment energy. So this is the same card as the Awakening. Number 20 is coming in. And the Judgment card is where something is calling you. It's calling you to the future. You're hearing and heeding this calling that's coming through. It's part of this awakening that's coming in here. And I feel like the fact it's coming twice, it is around cleaning. You might feel the need to clean up things, but it's cleaning. It's just the tail end and the cleaning of that old cycle, the cleaning up of those old energies. But you might, like I said, might actually physically want to clean. So be aware of, like, are you cleaning your house? Are you cleaning your office? Are you cleaning out your wardrobe? Are you cleaning yourself? Like what area is this kind of, it's sort of signaling to you potentially where the focus could be, where you might want to clean. But the Judgment energy is suggesting a rebirth, that there is moving into a whole new phase here with the Judgment energy, that something is calling you further down the field, which is really nice. So there's potentially a second chance coming in with something that feels like a bigger cycle. So you're presenting as the Wheel of Fortune. So this is where you've expanded, like you are in this expanded space. You are a very different energetic being now, and you're ready to change. You've opened up, and it's like you're ready to expand and grow with this Wheel of Fortune. And so that's why the areas that are feeling stagnant are going to become really pronounced. And then the energy surrounding you is the Magician. This is the act of creation. There's things popping up, and there's willpower that comes associated with it. It's becoming consciously aware of some new things that are coming into creation here, or things that you want to create in your world. And so there's potentially someone around that can help you with this. Magician energy can sometimes be like an expert that can go, okay, well, you become aware that this is something you want to be bringing into the world through this calling, this message from the divine. How am I going to go about that? How am I going to draw these resources towards me in order to do this? So I feel like there's a big letting go of some old burdens, old responsibilities, clearing a whole heap of crap out and then making space for the new. So you're in this transition stage still with the Six of Feathers energy, and that's moving on. The Six of Feathers is the Six of Swords, but it does feel like you are... the fact we've got the World there, which is the ending, is saying that there's going to be a completion of this energy soon. We have even in this fortnight, we have the Hermit energy as hopes and fears. So this is very much a sense of just wanting to make some wise decisions. Even having some time out to just think. Maybe that's something you need as well. The Hermit can also be where you're feeling a little bit isolated, because the Emperors are very much like I have to do this all by myself. The Magician is I'm doing this by myself. And the King of Swords is very much like I'm making decisions by myself. And it may feel a little bit like maybe that's something you want, maybe it's something you don't want. It's really a sense that I feel like there's a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders at this moment in time. And so that's something that's coming through with the Hermit. As an outcome, we've got the Seven of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So it's interesting because it's like, the Seven of Swords is like there's a plan being enacted here. You're hearing and heeding the calling. The King of Swords is the strategist. The Seven of Swords is the plan. So the Four of Pentacles is if you've got some savings, or maybe you plan to save money, maybe you plan to set up some structures around money, maybe you plan to use savings, but there's something that you want here with the Queen of Wands. There's an opportunity that you are attracting to you or preparing for. That's a sense of knowing that that ship is coming, and that you're making plans for it for when it comes in. So this Queen of Wands attracts opportunity to her, but it's a very discerning energy. So this with the Seven of Swords would suggest that there's something that you're building and creating behind the scenes here, that perhaps it's all about the timing of it as well and who you tell, because it is about discernment. Maybe you need to keep your cards pretty close to your chest, but this is where there's a plan is coming into action here and looking towards the future, this Queen of Wands, and going, right, okay, I've got something pretty solid here that I'm working on, and a base that I'm wanting to keep. I've got a pretty solid base here, but there's a few things I'm restructuring around it. So it's not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's like, we'll keep the baby, throw the bathwater out, restock, it's like a new plan coming in. But we've got some good stuff we're working on here, and now we're drawing new things towards us that are going to make this plan work. So it's interesting. And at the base, we've got the King of Swords, and this is where it's an Aquarian energy. We've got this sense of detaching and being really logical in some of the decisions that are being made, and working that strategy and working that plan. So you're restructuring a lot of things in your life where something's become very burdensome. And it's also sort of seems like it's in anticipation of some positive results that potentially could come through, or that you're sensing or feeling, but maybe you can't necessarily, maybe it's not necessarily here yet. So yeah, interesting. So it's this little, it's a sense of being very intuitively guided to where it is that you need to go, and preparing for it, getting ready for it. So it's interesting. So let's see. It may be that you're looking at reworking some structures around your money as well, and how that's working. That's something that could come through, because I feel like you need like some kind of resource in order to make this happen, whether it's time. So whether you're restructuring you're looking at restructuring your schedule, or whether it's money, or whether it's some sort of help. It's like the Queen of Wands is like, I know what I want, what I'm looking for, and so I'm on the lookout for it and waiting for it to come towards me, because I'll know the right thing or the right person, the right place when I see it. So it says, as your affirmation card, all is well in my world. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. And that is it, because it sort of feels like at the beginning of the transition, even in the middle of this big transition phase, it felt a little bit like you're being pulled or guided in this direction, but you kind of had to trust that you were heading in the right place, or that you were being guided to the right place. But you're starting to get little glimpses now that this is actually going to start working, that this is the right direction for you, and to keep at it, keep working the plan, keep the strategy in place, and be ready and prepared. Get the resources ready and be prepared for what's coming. So we have, as an energy, as a charm, we have the beautiful peace symbol. So this is also interesting because it is around finding peace, quite literally. Like the Six of Feathers is the Six of Swords, which is the card of moving from emotional turmoil to peace. And then we move on to the Seven of Swords, which is where do we go from after that? We've moved on from something. Now we need a plan. So we've moved on from this big energy and we're planning where to next. But it's also, if we turn it, I always think of it as two legs standing. So it's about like that Emperor energy of being very self-sufficient, standing on your own 2 feet, doing things on your own terms. So even though it may feel like, you know, you might have the weight of the world, or it might feel like you're taking a lot on by yourself, it's also this very independent energy that's coming through with all of that. So that's it, Scorpio. That's it. Get ready, make a plan, because there's something that you're attracting and magnetizing towards you that's going to help you step into this calling. Trust those messages that are coming through. And just as I was saying that, I could hear Star scratching at the door, wanting to come in because I had the door shut. And it was a sense that there's something knocking at the door or scratching on the door, wanting to come in. You know, there's an opportunity coming towards you, something really lovely coming towards you here, and to be ready for it. So that is your reading, Scorpio. I'm going to take it over to the extended reading now, where we're going to look further into the future. It's sense of you're preparing for something, you're heeding the call, knowing that some cycles are over and you're ready to step into the new, but making preparations around that. And then it's a sense of, well, what is coming towards you? What is this thing that's coming in? So let's look at the near future and the future beyond, see where this is all going, what influences are coming in or energies coming towards you, and things that you may or may not be expecting. And we're also going to look at managing the energy, because it kind of has a sense of completion to this energy and preparation and readiness for stepping into the new. So it is a transition energy, but it feels like it's reasonably productive. So we want to kind of make the most of the energy, because you are making some really clear plans for where to next. So, and you want them to be the right plans, or you want them to resonate, or to be bringing the right structures in. So this is where And, I think there's this lovely integration of the awakened energy that's coming through. So there will be a sense of there's some of that wisdom that comes through with that, a bit like the hermit energy that you can access. So we're going to ask about managing the energy. What's the best way to make the most and get the most out of this energy? So that's all in the extended reading. Would love it if you come over, Scorpio. The link is in the description box below. And I usually pin the link to the comments as well. And if this is where we're leaving each other, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and look forward to seeing you next time.